Recruiter here to review your resumes. The resume we have up first is an AI engineer that wants to get into FANG. They say 1 year experienced AI trying to get a job in big tech, not getting interview calls at all, really stressed. Well, I'm here to help you find out why you're not getting any interviews and roast your resume. But if this person wants to get into FANG, their resume has to be very good, especially for an AI engineer. So what does an AI engineer want? Well, it's right here. But before we do that, I want to let you know I do more than tech resumes for reviews, but the tech market is in the dumpster. So like 99% of the resumes sent to me are tech, but I do other non-tech resumes. I swear to you, it's just rarer. So for an AI engineer, what do we need? We need degree, Python, or other backend, ML, LLMs, cloud, any of the cloud works, but you do have to mention it. You can't say cloud. You have to say what kind of cloud. That you've built stuff in production, agentic systems and multi-agents, agentic coding, so like Claude Code, OpenAI, Codex, Cursor, frameworks like LangGraph, preferably over LangChain, which is multi-agent systems, Google ADK, OpenAI Agent SKD, and that you can communicate technical details to a non-technical audience, MLOps, AI architecture, AI orchestration, and rare is the industry, SQL, RAG, Git, NumPy, and a couple of those other tools. So again, this person wants to get into big tech, so FANG, which is not FANG anymore, it's like Mang or something, but whatever, everybody knows FANG. So let's roast this resume to find out why this person is getting 0 interviews when they're applying to FANG. So I will need to find this stuff in qualification format, not keyword format, in 20 seconds. If I cannot find it in 20 seconds, you do not move forward. So let's start the clock and go. Doesn't matter. Okay, this doesn't. Oh, nope, that part does matter. This doesn't. Architected a centralized document using Node RESTful processing, doesn't matter. Optimize latency critical front-end components, this doesn't matter. CSCD and Git does matter and doesn't matter. Time. That is it. That is time. That is all I found. Yeah, no wonder this resume is getting 0 interviews. There's nothing in it. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing in it. So you can also tell how good or bad your resume is by the ratio, which is how many applications it takes to get an interview. Anything that is 1 interview per 50 applications is good. And anything lower than 1 to 50 is really good. And when people use my method, they end up getting around 1 in 7. So this person, the fact that, well, we don't know how many they've applied to, but we do know they've gotten 0 interviews. So we know it's a bad resume. So why does this resume stink? Well, first off, you had nothing in it. You've submitted almost an entirely blank page. If you noticed, I was saying I needed this stuff in qualification format, not keyword format, and there is a difference between the two. So a qualification is a keyword, which is what the hiring team needs, plus how you used it, plus the non-technical business reasons you used it, plus where you used it. If it's not what, how, why, where, it does not count. And because of that, this skills section does not count. So I cannot use anything in this. Right? Not a single thing. Then your formatting is bad. The formatting you want to use is this. This is how you do it. The link is in the description below, but this is the best formatting a software engineer and almost anybody else can use. There's very few exceptions on who wants that. So I can barely read it in 20 seconds. Then we go down here, and if you noticed, I didn't find anything. There's no AI. This person specifically wanted to be an AI engineer at FANG, and they don't have any AI. Not a single bit of AI. They have Node, which I'm not looking for, which is a hot dog. They have RESTful APIs, which is a hot dog. They have SLA KPIs, which is not even close. So what I mean by a hot dog is I want you to imagine that you're hungry. You go to a restaurant. You want a hot dog with pickle. You want a hamburger with pickles. And the waiter says, all you want is a hamburger with pickles. And you say, yes, just a hamburger with pickles. So the waiter goes away. They come back and they bring you a plate of 3 hot dogs with pickles on them. And they say, here is your hamburger. And you go, no, that's not right. I wanted a hamburger with pickles. This is 3 hot dogs with pickles. And the waiter says, a hot dog has meat like a hamburger. A hot dog has buns like a hamburger. A hot dog has pickles just like a hamburger. So when you wanted this right here hamburger, what you actually wanted was pickles and a hot dog. And you would go, no, that's not what I wanted. And you would leave. And that's the problem with this resume. And the fact that's the problem with a lot of resumes is it doesn't matter how good that hot dog is, or glizzy, as the kids say. It doesn't matter how good the glizzy is. It doesn't matter how amazing that hot dog is. All that matters is that we want a hamburger. And the exact problem I have with this is this implies that, right? A document upload system using Next.js and internal whatever, blah, 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 implies some of this stuff, but it's not this stuff right here. Because if it's not relevant, which is one of these, it does not belong in your resume. And then you go, okay, well, Lee, what about the projects? All right, well, I didn't get to the projects because the formatting was so bad, and there was nothing else here that I found. In fact, the only thing I did find that was necessary and needed was the AWS, which is fine. But even then, this AWS does not count because this does not tell me it does not tell me the non-technical reason that you did it. So this whole sentence has nothing in it. So this right here, entirely hot dogs. So let's go to the projects. Let's assume the projects were first, which you're probably not getting in as an agentic engineer to Fang, because I've recruited for AI startups before. So I actually know this stack pretty well. Built a real-time computer vision. What's that? I don't know. That's not what I'm looking for. Pipeline using TensorFlow. Maybe that's under NumPys. Keras. What's Keras? I don't care. OpenCV. Don't care. MediaPipe. Don't care. Eye aspect ratio. Don't care. Yawning patterns. Why do I care about yawning patterns? And fatigue detection. This is okay. So this is actually for drivers. That's still not what I care about. Why do I care that you deployed a deep learning model that achieved 98% accuracy and driver fatigue? What was the point of that? Why was it important that you did that? I don't know. But you know what I don't know? I don't know what kind of agentic stuff you used. I don't even know what kind of AI stuff you used besides TensorFlow. Because there's nothing here I can use. Analyzed drug patterns with pandas and NumPy. Yeah, where is the agentic stuff? If you want to get a Fang job as an AI engineer, you need agentic. Where's LangGraph or LangChain? Where's Google ADK or OpenAI Agent SKD? Where's any of the agents? Where's Claude Code, OpenAI, Codex, Cursor? Where is building stuff in production? Where's the agentic systems and multi-agent? Where's the Python? I don't actually see Python anywhere here. Again, this does not count. It has to be in the bullet points. I do not see it. OpenCV, again, does not count. It has to be in the bullet points. This does not show me how you did it or the reason or result of you doing it. And if it's not all 4, it doesn't count. So that Python doesn't count. Where's the fact that you communicate technical details to non-technical people? I don't know. Now, you may be thinking, Lee, hold on, this is not an AI engineer. This is some kind of software engineer. Well, no, it's not. Because none of this stuff, this only has 50% of what I wanted for a software engineer. So the most common software engineer is full stack. And this is the full stack right here. I'm going to put it up right here. And if you noticed, I still don't have enough to move forward. I found, Node.js, right? RESTful APIs, AWS, which was good, Next.js, but I don't see TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. I don't see any of the backend. Where is your Python, sir? Where is your Python? I literally do not see any Python. You cannot have this with no Python or Java you don't have it. Because again, it doesn't count if it's in a skills section up above either. So I don't know what to do with this resume because it's almost entirely blank. This resume is filled with hot dogs. And if your resume is filled with hot dogs, Fang is not going to move forward with you. And not just Fang. No one is going to move forward with your resume if it's filled with hot dogs. Your resume needs to be entirely hamburgers because any amount of hot dogs is not what we're looking for. And again, you may in the comments say, look, this engineer is fantastic. They're amazing. Well, yeah, they're amazing, but they're not amazing for this role of an AI engineer or a full stack dev because they don't have the bare minimum qualifications. And if you don't have the minimum qualifications, you don't get to move forward. So no hot dogs. Stop with the hot dogs. Only hamburgers. Because this resume fails. And that is why this fails. So you really need to change this, especially the bullet points. Like, even if you had what I needed, which you don't, right? Like, even if you had the keywords, you still wouldn't pass because these bullet points are garbage, right? Like, reducing debugging time by 40%, conducted and addressed code reviews. Why do I care? That's not a non-technical business reason. Ensuring SLA KPI compliance. Why do I care? Why do I care about response times by 50% and platform reliability under production load? I don't. And it's not me, it's the manager, right? I'm speaking for the manager in this because I will challenge you to go to any job description and see if you can find a job description that specifically says you need to improve API response times by 50% or else you will not move forward. None of them have those as qualifications, not a single one, but they have this stuff up here. So that's all I can do for this resume. Also, the formatting is horrendous. Again, I shouldn't have to squint my eyes to read this. You really want to use this formatting. It's okay if it's more than one page, but that's all for this resume. I also want everybody to know I'm suffering from some migraines right now, so the advice is a little more chaotic than normal, but you know what? If your resume can get past a recruiter that is suffering from some pretty bad migraines and is having a hard time concentrating and speaking, then your resume is fantastic because in the real world, that's what might actually happen. So before we go to the next resume, I just want to thank you all for watching. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on both YouTube and twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And to all of my members who get access to my videos early, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much for your support. I could not do this without you. Thank you so much. If anybody wants to join, they can join in the link below. But thank you again, and let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of a front-end developer. So this is a new resume, so we do not know their ratio or how good or bad it is. And they did not give me any information, so we're going to have to judge this with fresh eyes. So is this good or garbage? I don't know. What do we need for front-end dev? We need degree, portfolio. Recruiters are not going to look at your portfolio really, but the manager will, so that's why you want to have the portfolio. React, TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, UI, UX, Angular, Next.js, Nuxt.js, Node.js, REST APIs or APIs, AI, that you own the process from 0 to 1, communicate clearly with designers and product managers about what's feasible and what's in it, and extra credit for SDK, Vue, Scrum, Agile, and backend languages. So 20 seconds is on the clock. Let's see what I can find. And whoop, started too early. And go. Good. 0 to 1 using intro React testing. All right. Used by Dallas. Okay. Build full stack using Node.js and SQL to fetch this for. Okay, good. Created optimized web pages using Node.js. Efficiently configured SEO to go to try to visit the website. Created automated testing to get this kind of theme. Crash and downtime and time. It's not bad. They followed my format. Almost. There's too big of a gap between these. If you notice, there's no big gap between them. It's a minor issue. Let's see. So I found most of what I needed here, which I like. Is there something I'm missing? So let me go down. Build a new large-scale application from 0 to 1. See, I'm not asking you necessarily. I feel like this is almost an incorrect usage of 0 to 1. I'd rather you start, say, built a Application, the large scale you can tell me like later with what you've done. Using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, and React, which is good. To deliver reliable testing and sales tools used by thousands of users in the US and European stores is fine. But when I'm asking for 0 to 1, I don't. It's really more of an ownership thing than it is a 0 to 1 thing. So when I'm asking for 0 to 1, I want to know that you have been there since the beginning, which you did show. But I want to know that you have started up from the conception of it. You've done the idea stages. You've worked on it in production continuously you until it was finally pushed out. This is more of a like the concept of the app from 0 to its actual completion. So this is not an accurate use of 0 to 1 for this. The rest of this one is fine. And then used Node.js, good. RESTful API and SQL, good. To securely fetch and store sales data. See, I don't know if I need to know to securely fetch and store sales data. You could just say built full stack features utilizing that, allowing business managers to view accurate real-time analytics reports across company dashboards. That I don't actually need you to say this part. This is a hot dog. And then created, optimized using Next, and configured SEO. Again, I don't know how much I care about SEO anymore. Again, I have to update these every 3 months. So even if that was one, this only has 2 keywords, which is Next and SEO. And the thing I'm missing is the communicating one, which, yeah, this has enough, but this can be combined. Like you can combine these. Created clear project alignment by translating stakeholder needs into a product and explaining complex concepts to ensure all business goals were met. Again, like I'm not I actually don't care that you explain complex topics to non-technical people, right? And you have to tell me what those goals are. So created clear project alignment by translating stakeholder needs into a product. Perfect. The rest of this sentence needs to be better. So I would recommend you create this and say, was with the product from its inception to its completion by creating clear project alignment, translating stakeholder needs into a product, and something, because that still only has 1. So is this a garbage resume? No, this would pass, but my goal is to get you a 1 in 7, while this will probably get you a 1 in 40, maybe a 1 in 25. There's also no AI, which again, the fact is companies want it. That's what you got to put on. I don't need you to say you created the AI. I actually just need to see that you used it. And then is there anything else? So yeah, that is my main thing is you did not use 0 to 1 correctly. And honestly, 0 to 1 would be better fitted to put into this bullet point. The second bullet point is a little more wordy than it needs to be. The third one only has 2 keywords, and that's if we're counting SEO. The third one, again, those are extra credit things. And the last one down here only really has 1. So I'm going to need you to combine those and make them together, and then you've got a rock solid resume. Again, this does pass, but I'm trying to get you a 1 in 7. Next resume. This is another front end. So we already know what we need for this, so I don't need to go over that again. This person's ratio is awful, so it takes them over 150 applications to get a single interview. So this is a very, very bad resume. So 20 seconds on the clock. Let's see if I can find what I want. And go. Okay, this doesn't matter. Where's your education? I guess you don't have it. That's okay. All right. Built core tables. Okay. Dashboards with charts. I'm not looking for that. All right. This does not read like a full-time. I would not move this forward already. I don't see anything I need. All right. So, yeah, remember, skills sections and summaries are worthless. Now, there is an exception to the summary. There is one of three reasons you would ever want to have a summary. Rule number one with a summary is if you are relocating, you wouldn't even put summary, by the way. You just say moving to X by Y date, can move earlier if needed. That because relocation is a very, very big yellow flag. It's almost a red flag, but not quite. So you really want to show that you're moving to the area already. The other one is if you are explaining a visa that is not an H-1B or OPT, or you are explaining that you have a approved I-140. If you have an approved I-140, you want to definitely show that. The other one is switching industries, and I don't mean going from like college. I mean going from like an electrical engineer to a basket weaver. That level of different jobs is what you need to explain, but otherwise you don't need it. And then we go down to here, and again, I don't see anything I need. You have some stuff up here, but remember, this does not count. And then nothing here matters. This is hot dogs. This is hot dogs. This is hot dogs. This is hot dogs. This is REST APIs, which is what I need. And this doesn't matter because I don't know what this is. Engineer to Python ETL. Again, not looking for that. Like again, backend is a like a bonus, but you need the other stuff first. So yeah, there's nothing in it. Like I don't see you said front end dev, right? Like I'm not crazy. Yeah, you said front end. I don't see anything involving front end for this. There's nothing involving front end. In fact, is there anything involving front? Like, I really can't. I see UI UX and Claude design, but where's the React? Where's the JavaScript, the HTML, the CSS? Where's owning the process? Where's communicating with designers? There's UI UX? But where's everything else? Angular, Next, Nuxt, Node. I mean, this resume is blank. Like, I don't know. Also, I'm assuming you have the work authorization to apply for these jobs as well. But if you don't, then the resume doesn't matter. But I don't see it. What about this implies you're a front end dev? I don't know why you wasted these sentences with this stuff, because this is a hot dog. This resume is filled to the brim with hot dogs. I don't see anything involving front end. And there's nothing I need. It's hard for me to review this again because there's nothing. Like, if there's a bad resume that has some flaws, but there's things that are fixable, I can talk about it. But, like, there's nothing here. There's literally nothing in this resume that I could use to move you forward besides UI, UX, and Claude, and maybe the word RESTful API, but that's not enough. Because that's not a qualification, that's a keyword. And a recruiter that moves you forward with keywords is a recruiter that gets fired because they're doing a bad job. So I don't know if my migraine is hurting me bad enough that I just can't find anything, but this resume needs to be deleted and start again. You need to follow this format, and you need to make it understandable to the layman, because nothing about this would get you an interview. And I understand why you're getting 150 to 1. Next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. So, what do we need for full stack? We need TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, RESTful API or REST API, SQL, any cloud, any backend, Python, C#, .NET, or Java, React, React.js, Angular, Node.js, Vue.js, DevOps, CI/CD, Agile, or Git. This person is been struggling for 3 months, but recently, since they have updated the resume, they're getting about 1 interview per week, which is about how much I want people to do. That should be a 1 in 50. So this is a perfect 1 in 50 resume. I added some keywords to my resume that are frequently in job descriptions, like RTK, query, and Redux. Okay. If you have been finding those, then good, because once you learn how to find these keywords, you should be better at it than me. I cannot be in every market, and your individual market in your individual country or state may require some slight differences. So once you have learned how to do this better than me, it is a good thing and you should do it. So 20 seconds on the clock. And let's see. All right, and go. Okay, degree. Architected a website using React, Next.js, TypeScript, JavaScript with 100. Good. So for him to find employment easily. Use Node.js and RESTful for multi-vendor SaaS product. Okay, good. Built RESTful Redux tools and RTK query theming in Mu. Maybe. And wrote integration. Okay. So the big thing with this one is this is a self-taught dev that is graduating in around February of 2027. They're in chat, so they told me. And man, this is one of the few times where I'm actually thinking you either completely remove your education, right? Like we don't even have it for this because this is a very particular case. Or alternatively, shove it at the bottom. Because I wish I wasn't having a migraine right now so I could answer this better, but I believe that you would stand a better chance if you remove it or shove it at the bottom. Because it looks like if you were graduating in 2027, then this is weird, right? Like, what, did you really do that? But since you're self-taught and you don't have it, I think you may want to put it at the bottom or just leave it blank on this one. Because that can matter. But your bullet points are pretty solid. I don't really think I see anything bad. I do think localization might be, unless that's one of the keywords you found, that one might be a little bit off. And I would recommend moving this up. I think if anything, some of these bullet points can be combined. I think you should probably aim for 4 bullet points for this because you've been there for about 3 years. And 3 years is about 4 bullet points worth. Now, you will need to combine some stuff. So, like, worked in an agile environment with my 5 team members, where we went over, like, see, you're not an intern, right? If you're looking for an internship, then I want to see that you can take direction and criticism. But this, I don't really want, because this is weird for a full-time one. I'd rather you said worked in an agile environment and used Git and CI/CD to create unit and integration tests. So again, I think you can combine these two somehow. Because all I need to see is, again, worked in an agile environment using Git and CI/CD. I don't need you to deeply explain those. That's fine. You're not an intern. You don't need to explain how you took direction and criticism. That's only an intern thing. So overall, this is good. And this is one of the few numbers. So I wanted to highlight this. One of the few times you actually want to use numbers is this. In your resume, it's typically a bad idea to use numbers, not counting your dates of employment and your, phone number. But this is an appropriate use of numbers for a software engineer, is how many users you've got. And 100,000 monthly users is great. So I don't have any problems with the first sentence. I don't have any problems with the second sentence. I think my biggest issue is I don't see cloud. Did I miss cloud here? No cloud, no AWS. Yeah, it's all the way down here, which they're not going to get to. I want to be clear. No one's going to scroll down to there. That's in 2019. Even if they do scroll, they're probably not going to think it's relevant. So a 1 in 50 is a pass. And based on everything you have, I think we could probably get this to maybe a 1 in 35 to a 1 in 40. But I don't know if we're going to go much lower than that just because of the degree and the fact that you don't have AWS until way down there. But overall, this is a good resume for what we're working with. Next resume. This is a resume of a full stack software engineer. So we already know what that is. This one has been pretty easy. So bunch of full stacks, AI, and front end. So this person gets 150 to 1. That's all we really know about them. They're not applying in the US, I believe, which is fine. I've gotten people jobs outside the US. I've gotten people jobs in Mexico, India, uh other places in South America that I cannot remember off the top of my head, and I'm sorry. Canada, the UK, the EU, Africa, and I believe Singapore. There was somewhere in the Asia continent, and I don't remember which one, which was bad on me. So my advice does work internationally, although I will say it is like an A instead of an A plus advice. Sometimes there's some slight differences. Like in the EU for software engineers, they prefer Java over Python, while in the US there is a slight preference for Python over Java. So 20 seconds on the clock. This resume, I guess this was their past resume. So let's see if this new one is good or garbage. And go. Okay, degree, good. Okay, good. Develop and maintain productivity focused views. What? Using within the sort of seamless experience for a user. What did you do? Integrated front end to develop with Node, enabling business data and system functionality. That's fine. Deployment as a cloud-based machine using Docker. Help improve scalability. No. Developed using React. All right. Time. Again, normally I'm able to read farther, but my migraine is crushing me today, so this is as far as I'm able to read. Which is, just like in real life, that might be it. So a couple of things we need to do off the cuff. I don't care when you started, unless this is a regional requirement. Oh, no, I do need to know that you graduated there. I don't care when you started. I just care that you graduated. Second, this is almost my format. Remember, the education should have the dot here, and it should be indented just a little bit. There is a reason it looks like that. It is easy to read, so this needs to have a slight indent. And then here, which indent should probably be a little bit bigger. But develop to maintain a productivity focused views. What is that? What is productivity focused views? I get within it, like this does not make sense. Maybe this is a translation error, but I don't know what you mean by productivity focused views. I understand what a web page is. I understand what the front end and the back end is. I don't know what you mean by this. So while you do have the right keywords, I will need more than keywords to move you forward because I don't know what you mean by that. Integrated front-end applications with RESTful service APIs developed with Node and Nest and PostgreSQL, enabling reliable access to business data and system functionality. I mean, I guess just business data would be fine. I don't know if you need to tell me the other part, like enabling reliable access to business data. It just is still, again, like why is it important that you have that data? What is that data used for? And the answer is, I don't know. Assistant in the development and deployment and maintenance of cloud-based solutions using Docker for virtualization. No, I don't. This means nothing. Again, this is a hot dog. I need a clear business reason that you use this. That is, remember, everything you do is for a purpose. Everything you do as an engineer is for a purpose. Your entire job boils down to making the company money or saving the company money. And I don't want to hear that you saved or made the money, but I do want to know what your project was that did in fact save or make them money. So what was the point of integrating the front end applications? What was the business reason that you did it? Why was this important? Why did you maintain productivity focused views? What does that mean and why is it important? I don't know. Like, a great user engagement makes sense. That is understandable to a layman, so this one is okay, but the rest of them I just don't see. And then do I even have everything I need? I have React. I have TypeScript. HTML. I don't have JavaScript. I need JavaScript. I don't see JavaScript until the second bullet point. Your first one should be TypeScript, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. RESTful APIs, I did see. Yeah, I did. SQL, I did see. Cloud, I did see. And then I did see React, which is good, but I don't see CI/CD or Git or Agile. So again, you have some stuff here, but I only see about like 60% of what I need, and you need 75 to move forward. And you wrote these in a way that does not describe the non-technical thing that you did. So instead of, as an example, instead of assisted in the deployment and maintenance of cloud-based using Docker for virtualization, improve application scalability, it would be you created a cloud-based solution using DevOps and CI/CD, so our customers would have less lag on our website. Something like that. That would be what I would want. But right now, it's not the worst, right? But it's just, I need more. I just need more of the things that I'm actually looking for. I need more hamburgers. I need the formatting to be slightly better. I need the non-technical whys to actually be non-technical whys. So it just does not succeed on almost every aspect. It's not a tear it down and start again, but you do need to have some work into this one. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If anybody needs help, they can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter and right here on YouTube. And if you want to support this channel and get access to videos early, you can join in my you can join in the link below and become a member. I just want to thank my members who are members, by the way. I could not do this without you, so thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much for being a member. And if anybody wants to join, like I said in the link below, but that is it for me, and I will see you all in the next video to help you get ahead of your job search. Later.